As the statewide Youth Tobacco Prevention Coalition in Arkansas, Project Prevent consists of local chapters across the state that choose to live their lives free from tobacco and nicotine and encourage others to do the same. One way chapters can help reduce tobacco use in their area is by educating community members and local leaders on the importance of zoning laws as it pertains to tobacco retailers. We are happy to share an easy to follow 4-part series on zoning laws and tobacco retailers. Let's get started. Tobacco retailers can influence youth tobacco use from causing more exposure to the marketing of their products, as well as the proximity or distance in which these stores are located to schools. These 4 short sessions will outline steps that chapters can take to restrict or prohibit the number of tobacco retailers within a community or in proximity to schools, and the amount of tobacco advertising that may be allowed within a community. Part 1 of the series will discuss exposure to marketing and proximity to schools by explaining what it means and why it matters. Part 2 will continue to discuss exposure to marketing and proximity to schools by helping students identify the issues in their community and identify who can help make a change. Part 3 will help students prepare a presentation for tobacco retail zoning laws, and Part 4 will identify strategies for educating those decision makers and community members. Before we begin, let's discuss a few terms that will be used throughout the sessions. The Food and Drug Administration defines tobacco product as any product made or derived from tobacco that is intended for human consumption, including any component, part, or accessory of a tobacco product. This includes cigarettes, chewing tobacco, cigars, pipe tobacco, water pipes or hookah, dissolvable products, e-cigarettes, and other electronic nicotine delivery systems. Retailer means any person or business that sells tobacco products for individuals for personal use. Proximity refers to the nearness or closeness of one object to another. In this context, we'll be discussing the distance between tobacco retailers and schools. And marketing is the action or business of promoting and selling products or services, including market research and advertising. Part 1 of our series addressing zoning laws and tobacco retailers is exposure to marketing and proximity to schools. What does it mean and why does it matter? Tobacco is one of the most marketed products in the United States. The tobacco industry spent over $7.3 billion in 2020 just in retail settings. That's about 75% of their total marketing budget for the year. Exposure to tobacco marketing comes in many forms, claiming things like good deals or buy one, get one free, 2 for the price of 1. And these are usually signs behind the checkout counter, at the gas pumps, and in the windows of the store. On your way home today, or the next time you're in a convenience store, try to see how many tobacco advertisements you see. This type of marketing has worked really well for tobacco companies, but your community has the power to limit some of this exposure. We'll talk more about how in the next few slides. Reducing exposure to tobacco advertising can help denormalize tobacco use. More than 50 years ago, in 1971, Congress banned TV and radio ads for cigarettes. The Master Settlement Agreement in 1998 restricted most outdoor billboards and sponsorships. So by 2003, the tobacco industry drastically increased their marketing budgets, making retail settings the main channel for advertising. That's why you see so many signs in the windows at the gas pumps and at the counter when you go to a gas station or a convenience store. It feels kind of normal to see these signs at a gas station as opposed to seeing them on TV. Reducing exposure to tobacco marketing in your community can help change the social norms regarding tobacco use. As I mentioned, the tobacco industry spends a lot of money in marketing. They spend nearly $1 million per hour advertising and promoting their products. They use different marketing tactics to target certain groups, and these strategies encourage customers to make impulse purchases when they see ads for a trial offer or price cuts. Exposure to tobacco marketing also creates a normalization of tobacco use. If it's something that a young person sees on a regular basis, then it can begin to feel as if it's not a risky behavior. Research shows that tobacco marketing contributes to more pro-tobacco attitudes and behaviors among youth. The more young people are exposed to tobacco advertisements, the more likely they are to feel like it's normal to use the products, and the more likely they are to use them themselves. Proximity to tobacco retailers is associated with higher tobacco use as well. Therefore, schools that have tobacco stores that are close by, maybe a short drive or walking distance, are likely to have higher rates of tobacco and nicotine use. Those that do not have easy access to tobacco products are more likely to have lower rates. Evidence also shows that strong tobacco retailer licensing laws can help reduce sales to underage youth. Strong local tobacco retailer licensing laws can help prevent youth tobacco use initiation for both cigarettes and e-cigarettes. Most local governments use zoning for land use planning. By dividing areas into zones, local jurisdictions can control the types of businesses that are allowed to operate in those certain zones. Zones may be designated as residential, like houses, commercial, like stores, industrial, agricultural, or even mixed use. Zoning laws can also prohibit the sale of tobacco products within a certain distance from schools. Join us for part 2, where we discuss identifying the issues in your community and who has the ability to make changes.